Pressure is growing for the removal of Nigeria's Minister of Defense, Mohammed Badaru Abubakar, as concerns over the country's deteriorating security situation escalate. A federal lawmaker, Honorable Yusuf Gadi, and the Afenifere Youth Vanguard for Peace in Nigeria have publicly criticized the minister, calling him unfit for the role. Gadi recently raised alarms in the House of Representatives about insurgent attacks in Borno State, where terrorists allegedly overran military bases and seized critical equipment, including 40 tanks. The AYPN echoed his concerns, labeling Gadi's remark a courageous vote of no confidence. AYPN President Olatunji Fadare accused Badaru of prioritizing personal business interests and political ambitions over national security, describing him as a contractor in the camouflage ministry. The group alleged that defense contracts are being awarded based on political affiliations, contributing to operational failures. Fadare further charged the minister with ethnic bias and strategic mismanagement, claiming Badaru's decisions are influenced by his alleged 2027 presidential ambitions. The group criticized the ministry's disregard for local warnings and intelligence, urging President Bola Tinubu to immediately overhaul the defense leadership, starting with Badaru's removal. This call that has been made by the lawmaker and the Afenifere group, youth group, do you think the removal of Badaru will actually, make a difference in the insecurity affecting the country? Although we heard that troops have been sent to most of these affected northeast states that are dealing with the whole terrorism situation. Let me also make a statement that Toji has, fined in most Sokoto state communities to leave some of their villages till further notice. I think he gave them the notice to flee, if that's the word. I really don't know how that can fall into place. I want to get your thoughts on this removal of Badaru. What is your thoughts? What do you make of this?
Well, I don't want to sound like an alarmist. But I'm a realist.
Yes, you're going to be a realist in this situation and not...
I'm a realist.
Okay.
So, for those who do not understand, they look at when people like us sound a warning, they see us as alarmists. If you listen to that House of Representative man talking about this, see, we are in a critical, dangerous situation. Our lives don't matter. And the funny thing that is going on is this. There are individuals who are misled that having money, cash in their hand is everything. You see, that is a level of poverty. It's a very high level of poverty when you consider having money. I don't want to digress. If you understand how critical the situation is about insecurity in Nigeria, we're talking about 40 tanks. The representative said that critical equipment worth over trillions of naira were moved by Boko Haram. He said it's a dash. It's just like when the Chibok were about 250. Where would you move this volume of tanks to? You are hearing now that they say they are sent to where? I've been telling you in this studio that country is doomed. That we claim it is rehabilitating confirmed foreign terrorists whose agenda is clear. It's not hidden. You don't need to investigate to know. Their target is to overrun the country and take over the land. They are here carrying out genocidal activities against indigenous population. And then the government says that it is rehabilitating those people. And the other time, anyway, came up to talk. I don't want to use certain words so that you see, Nigeria invite usage of certain words to drive home the point. But for purposes of courtesy, I wouldn't want to use such words. You just look at it, and then you will confirm when I say Nigeria is a theater of absurdities, extraordinary every day in action. It's so sad and unfortunate.
But removal of Badaru, do you think it's going to make any difference?
We need a complete overhaul. We need a complete overhaul. of the security architecture. I brought it here. When Oshomole, you see, the root of all these things, like this Badaru you are hearing about, is solid mineral resources that is giving them billions. I'm telling you, all this Borno you are hearing about, Zambisa and the rest of them, there is so much wealth in this country that people can sell. Even what is happening in River State, that's the foundation. People can sell their future, even the future of their people, just for money. You know, when money matter to you, when money matter to an individual, you can do anything. When only cash money makes meaning, you can be bought over. That's why you see some people do certain things that you ask for. I say, are these people normal?
Now the question is, the troops that according to the defense minister and other security heads said that troops have been sent after the president had a meeting. You know, when he returned, he had meetings with most of the security heads, you know, on the way forward over insecurity and all of that. And the troops were sent to most of these affected states.
Listen,
what have they been doing?
That's the question you should ask yourself. The security agencies have been compromised in this country. They are in the business. You see what's happening in River State? This state of emergency you are hearing about. Wike had recommended the partnership. I told you in this studio before, you said you are not very comfortable.
Yeah, I told you not to divert.
Yes, you are not very comfortable.
Had an area of concentration.
You are not very comfortable. No, it's an insecurity. You see, this thing is happening in the north, and we're discussing it here. Because insecurity is like smoke. If they burn tire here, and I'm having asthma, it doesn't respect so long I'm taking in breath. That is how insecurity issue is. I told you in this studio that by my own observation, do you know why we're in this economic quagmire we are? It's because the president are jettisoning all indigenous economic ideas that would have revived and changed the future of this country, and is implementing IMF policies, which benefit will come in about 15 years.
So you think the IMF policies is not a good way?
No.
Not a good decision.
It's not meant for you. It's not meant for us. It's meant, you see the crisis that's happening in Burkina Faso? Did you hear what French are asking Macron to step down? Because he did not handle the colonization, the dealing with the colonies well. Because if the way Tory is going, spread in Africa, that their grandchildren will come to Africa to beg for their livelihood. Because they are depending on the wealth that God deposited here for us in Africa. And unfortunately, you cannot relocate. That's what's happening in the oil producing areas. They cannot move the gas and the oil to their area. If they move them to their area, it will sink and disappear. That's why they are here doing the rubbish. Did you hear what Oshomole did recently in the house? Talking about the fact that what they are doing is unfair. Why are they hunting down those who are into primary refining? Why the bigger crime is being committed in the area of solid mineral resources, that there are retired generals that are involved, that is mentioning it, that they should be investigated. There's something about the army. Do you know that the president cannot investigate the army chiefs? He cannot do that.
If we have to look at the crime and all of that, I will not say for the mind of the president how he's been dealing with crime and all of that corruption.
He cannot question them.
But talking about the parallel refinery situation, you do not think that's actually a good decision?
The way law is, the moment you begin to use double standard to apply law, you are failed. Do you understand it?
Well, I wanted to know, let's go back to this topic of discussion on the removal of Badaru. Do you think...
Can he be removed? That's the question. Okay. Now, if it's removed, what is the solution? Or let's say, what is the solution to this insecurity crisis?
Yeah, but because I also wanted to ask, have there been measures that have been placed in a different means? Because there's been back and forth.
Have you listened to the story?
Even with the National Assembly, there have been meetings.
The National Assembly is not serious.
Insecurity.
The National Assembly is not serious.
The National Assembly have been working.
It's not serious.
They've been making.
Quote me.
No. You're not going to say they're not serious.
You don't want to hear that.
I don't know if I will agree with that.
They should impeach the president. Because the person that will take steps to this overhaul, they are recommending. They are recommending to the executive.
The National Assembly have been working with most security heads on the way forward over the situation.
Listen, this is the way it works.
What is the duty of the National Assembly, if I may ask?
National Assembly, number one, they are our representative.
Okay.
Do you understand? Their main core duty is to push forward and represent what is in the best interest of the generality.
And I said that they have had meetings over the situation. Badaru is a defense minister, isn't it?
Yes.
And then he has his role to play on this part.
He is in office based on the president's appointment.
So that's why I'm trying to go back to the National Assembly situation, that they have played their own parts. And Badaru has his own part to play in the part of security.
He is not doing anything. And so, if the president refuses to remove him, they are supposed to impeach the president. That's the due process.
Which of the presidents?
How many presidents do we have?
But Barrister Mankia, I really don't know how.
It's Tinubu now.
Why do you think? Why did you make that?
What he even did in Rivers is impeachable offense.
What did the president do wrong that you had to make that statement, please?
What he did?
Yes.
There is insecurity. Life don't matter.
So are you trying to say that the president hasn't done anything at
yes,
all over the
he has not done enough.
Do you remember that the president has actually had Russia cooperation? He has had meetings with Israel. There's been a cooperation with Russia.
David.
If in any way the president hasn't made a statement or visited, I don't know if you know that president visited Katsina, most of the affected states over the insurgents. If the president hasn't made any move over the situation, then that's when we can call of whatever the situation is. But let's not divert.
Now, let's not
divert and not, refer to the president's situation. We're talking about Badaru in this instance, of the removal of Badaru that has been called upon by the Lawmaker and the Afenifere youth group in that instance, because I was asking you if Badaru is removed, would that change anything? So we should not bring in the president into the situation.
Oh my God.
Yes, we should not. Although we know that according to hierarchy, the president has his role to play. And that's why I asked you, what's the role of the National Assembly in this and you said they are supposed to represent us. They're supposed to speak for the people.
Yes.
They're supposed to represent the people on the good benefits of the country.
Yes.
Yes. And I said they have played their part.
How?
Which is organizing most of the security heads on the way forward. And you remember that they said they sent troops to most of the states that are affected by the insurgents.
Oh. Okay. Did
they send troops or not, Barrister Manki? Did you hear the story that the troops were sent to most of the northeast states?
What troop did they send? I'm asking you.
Which of the troops were attacked
by Boko Haram? Do you know they sent 10,000 troops to Rivers State?
Which of the troops were affected by Boko Haram?
These are people that I would say they were poorly equipped. They were overrun. Some of them were killed.
That is another case we're going to review.
About 40 tanks.
I think, they actually called for the issue of poor equipment and all of that situation, because this Boko Haram terrorists use more sophisticated weapons than the military. That was another case altogether. But we are talking about those troops that have been sent, measures that have also been put. It's something that has to be, everything has to work hand in hand. Sending out troops is just like sending your child to go to the farm and not give the child a hoe. What would the child actually use to cultivate? But I wanted to refer to that impeachment statement. I do not think that was actually the right statement to make.
See, let me tell you. I will repeat it here. For the benefit of those who are watching.
Okay.
I will tell you what my lecturer told us when we were in university. Unfortunately, it is the female that are in the question, that are in the focus. I will tell you, Chidima, you don't understand the gravity of the danger that we are in. He told us that when you see a woman running and it is said that there is a crisis and she's using her two hands to support her two breasts and she's running, know that the matter is not serious. That when the matter is serious, she will not remember that she has breasts. And woe betide a physical man that stand on her way, she will march you down and escape. We are heading there. The situation is so bad. If you listen to that representative man when he was talking, he was telling the head of the house that I will send you the pictures of the reality. I think the captain was key. I will send you the pictures. 40 tanks moved to where? There is a high level of collaboration that is good. See, you see this country? There is a heavy move to Islamize this country, and they are working very hard on that. That was why I said that two things that brought in the president. One, collaboration, because I'm trained by my exposure and training. There are certain things you cannot take away from me. That the present administration came into office with collaboration with terrorists and collaboration with imperialists. That's my conspiracy theory.
I'm not going to accept your conspiracy theory here.
Good.
Because you do not have, you made mention of the lawmaker that said he has pictures of the statements that he made.
Oh,
Now,
my God.
we've had this conversation over and over again.
My God.
Making statements
See,
that are assumed.
See,
we will not have that statement being made on national TV.
Listen to me. Do you know why I'm a socio-political analyst?
Okay.
Why I'm an analyst is that I am a different person, not in the mold or brain of somebody telling me this is what you have to say. I look at things based on the facts and statistics that is on the table, and I will ask you, what do you think about this? If like I ask you now, Chidinma, in the light of realities on the ground, why do you think that the terrorists have the audacious impunity that they can invade and overtake and overrun entire barrack and move about 40 tanks and move critical equipment rolling into trillions without being picked?